Impressions as I'm driving this thing while it's in sport mode. It's peppy. Very peppy. And the tail lights, beautiful LED. Ah, what's up, pigeon? But I'm expecting this one to be a little bit more smoother, to focus a little bit more on the performance side and the technology side, because I know Ford is always trying to innovate and do something random. ...2024 Ford Escape Platinum. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the vehicle we're going to be driving around in, and the one I'm going to be reviewing for you guys today. But some quick specs about this one. This is going to be powered by a 2-liter inline 4 with a turbo attached to it, pushing around 250 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. Mated to that is an 8-speed automatic transmission, and it is all-wheel drive. But let's take a quick little walk around of this vehicle, and I'll give you my honest thoughts and impressions about this one. Surprisingly, not as much chrome as I would expect, but I like it. I don't like to see a lot of chrome, but as you can see, the beautiful headlights just make it look so futuristic and kind of aggressive, just a little bit. This may not be the most sportiest car out there, but it looks good while it does it. And the color is a plain silver, so it kind of blends in, but the headlights change it around for you. And the tail lights, beautiful LED. Ah, what's up, pigeon? And yes, if the pigeon approves, it's a good car. And again, decent amount of trunk space here. No light in the back, so if you're working in the dark, the trunk is not illuminated for you. But pushing this out, you see we do have a spare tire down here. Not much storage underneath the board, but decent amount of storage in the back. This thing probably competes with, let's say, the RAV4, a few Honda CR-Vs, but nothing crazy. Coming into the back, we have perforated leather that you guys probably can't see because it's pitch black, but yeah, cup holders, but you're not missing out on much. It's literally just perforated leather, and it's an all black interior, which doesn't help that I'm in a dark area as well. But hopping inside, as you can see, we have a fully digital gauge cluster, a gigantic screen with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and surprisingly they've taken away all of our climate controls from down here and integrated them into the screen. The screen is hella responsive, kind of surprised by that. Interesting, okay. But yes, it's quick to respond, seems okay, but only time will tell, because technology does slow down a little bit. One thing I really don't like how they switch stuff around is, if you try and get into sport mode, you have to press the button and tell it that you want to go into sport, which I kind of wish it had its own dedicated button where I just press the button and it takes me to the sport menu and select sport mode for me. But I guess I just have to go with like this. But as you can see, we have normal, which makes the screen completely blue. Eco turns it into green. Sports again turns it to red. And slippery, which makes it look a little bit icy, like a chilly version of normal. But let's put this thing in drive and take it out for a little spin. Honestly, first impressions and what I expect from this car is that it's gonna be quicker than your average car. With 250 horsepower, all-wheel drive, and an SUV that feels kind of nimble, I'm expecting it to be kind of fast. Not neck-breaking kind of fast, but quick enough that I'm impressed by how quick it accelerates. And of course, it competes with, again, a Toyota RAV4, which is more reliable, yada yada yada. We know what Toyota does and how Toyota prefers to do things. But I'm expecting this one to be a little bit more smoother, to focus a little bit more on the performance side and the technology side, because I know Ford is always trying to innovate and do something random. Again, case in point with the buttons. Toyota, it would take Toyota long minutes before they decide to switch around their infotainment systems. Ford, it's a yearly thing where they switch around stuff, which I do like because it makes the car feel kind of new and also keeps up that spirit of innovation. So impressions as I'm driving this thing while it's in sport mode. It's peppy. very peppy. And as I was correct with my expectations, this thing does try and get off the line quick. It tries to act quick. It tries to be fast and furious. But if you really don't want it to, it really won't. And again, with a fully digital gauge cluster, you can't really switch around the menu too much, because we get our maintenance feel like very simple things. So we're gonna keep it in calm screen, where there's absolutely nothing except for the speed and the RPM, which I kind of like. It keeps its... This is my favorite screen now. The calm screen is my favorite. It's just simple. Shows you the gas and your speed. That's pretty much all you would need at that point. And yes, we will try out our stereo system very quickly as I try and figure out where all the buttons are, because I'm used to my buttons being down here, but now they're all up here. Now let's increase the volume to hear how good this is. Decent stereo system. It's not bumping, but it's good enough to drown out the road noise that you would be experiencing in case you're on a highway or an uneven road. We also have a bird's eye view and a backup camera. Apparently this model also does have a 3-cylinder version, which will take you some getting used to. That's like the base model of the Ford Escape, the one with the 3 cylinders. This one has the 4 cylinders. So base model with 3 cylinders does somehow keep up with the lower end Toyotas as well as the small SUV category. But it's always going to take some getting used to for someone who is used to 4 cylinders dropping into a 3-cylinder with a big turbo attached to it. So in my humble preference, I would always prefer a 4-cylinder over a 3-cylinder, just because it's me. And I'm the same guy who would also prefer a V8 over a 4-cylinder, because I want more cylinders in my cars. I really don't care about the gas mileage, even though if we take a look at this current one, our economy, right now we are averaging 8 liters for every 100 kilometers, which is really good for a car like this. Because most people, at least for me, I try to step on the car every time I get the chance to. I'm trying to fly somewhere, as if I'm in a Fast and Furious race. 0 to 60 times all the time. That's always what I'm trying to do. But a car like this really isn't for that. Can it get to highway speeds quick enough for you to not get hit by a truck? Of course. Can it run around getting groceries quick enough? Of course. Is it nimble enough to avoid most accidents? Of course it is. But it's not a sports car. This is a family SUV. Again, perforated leather all around. Very simple design, and it's very simple to get used to something like this. You don't need too much to get used to a car like this, and Ford has perfected it this way. It's simple, it's affordable, and there's just not much. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out the strengths and weaknesses of this car. And of course, we're gonna take this thing out on the highway, which is to my left. We're gonna hop on. Actually, scratch that, the highway looks way too busy for a proper run, but we'll find a good enough spot to do a proper 0 to 60 and give you an honest take on how quick I think this car is. Again, it's quick enough, it's peppy. The turbos be spooling. The 8-speed is downshifting quick enough and making this car enjoyable and functional enough. And again, we're like going down in the speed of traffic. We're gonna turn on our lane keep assist. We're gonna keep our adaptive cruise control ready. And since we're going 42, we're just gonna get it ready and set. And the car does slow down by itself, and it accelerates by itself as well, which is really nice. And adaptive cruise control in this one is very simple to use. It's just a handful of buttons and the rest takes care of itself, making it very simple and very easy to use. Like, there is no way you can mess up using the cruise control in this thing. And look, the lane keep assist is keeping me in my lane. Just keep your hands ready, because sometimes it does lose track of the lines. if you're in between an intersection. But as we are right now, it's no problem. Let me speed up to that red light because I do want to do a 0 to 60. And switch lanes. Okay, that sucks. Alright, we can do a proper 0 to 60, but we can do some light / aggressive accelerations. Or we can just slow down enough. There's someone behind me. No shot. Alright, we'll just do a rough acceleration. In 3, 2, 1, go. Quick. As I said before, the 4-cylinder 250 horsepower does that to a person. And it makes the car really, really enjoyable. Too bad we don't have any paddle shifters or any proper way to downshift and upshift, but you win some, you lose some. You really don't need that in a car like this. But anyway, guys, this has been Morty in the 2024 Ford Escape Platinum with the 4-cylinder pushing around 250 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. And yes, this thing brakes well too. Anyway, guys, take care and peace.